two airheads and a boxer. Can these two airheads turn this old boxer into this new and improved amazing race bike? Update. Rolling.
Welcome back to another edition of Two Airheads and a Boxer. I'm Airhead number 1.
I'm Airhead number 2.
There you go. And we have producer Airhead number 3 behind the camera. I know we haven't been on for a while. We ran into a bunch of snags. We sent the engine off to have some work done on it. It took them a little while to get the work done. We ordered some parts that came from across the pond over in Europe with the virus that shall not be named list YouTube. Take your video down. It took a little while for those parts to get here, so we really haven't been able to do much on the bike for almost 5 or 6 months. It's been a long time, so thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you're still subscribed to the channel, but we just want to do a quick little update video to let you know where we're at. We're going to walk you through some of the small things we did on the bike, just kind of bring you up to speed, and then hopefully now that we have some of the stuff that the main things that we need to start putting it back together, we'll start cranking out some videos again. But Charles, if you want to kind of jump in or bring them up to speed or bitch about suppliers, whatever you want to do.
It's not so much that we haven't been doing anything, it's that we haven't been doing anything that was really worthy of being filmed. We had a lot of stuff done. We sent the frame off to actually have some adjustments made. Since we raised the motor and moved it forward, we ran out of clearance up here with the stock bar that came back to here, so we had to have this new bar welded in. But as you can see, we've got the motor in. We have a complete motor. It is reassembled. It spins. It works very well. We know that everything moves freely as it should. We haven't started it yet, but we've got the dual plug setup in here, which we're really looking forward to trying out. Starting to get some of the electronics back on. New subframe came from Italy. We're gonna have to make a few adjustments to that once we get our shocks in. That's the next thing on the list to order is a set of shocks.
So actually looks like a bike.
You may notice that the front forks don't exactly look like BMW parts. It's because they're not. We went with Honda CBR front forks, custom spacers to make the K75 wheel fit properly. We're going to build some spacers so that we can use the Honda brake rotors and brake calipers on it as well. Which will give us a nice upgrade for brakes, much better than the what would be 45-year-old ATE.
Yeah, 45-year-old single one side brake drum.
Yeah.
It's a safety upgrade for the racing. Obviously, we're going to race it, so we want to make sure we have all the safety on there that we can have on it. So.
Because this is a relatively heavy bike, we want to have as much braking power as possible so we don't run right through the corners. But like as I mentioned before, we've raised the motor up. If you look right down here, this hole and this hole were the original two motor mounts. We've moved it forward a little bit and up, give it a little angle to get a little more clearance here. These valve covers had already hit the ground once, so we had them welded up.
Yeah, the previous owner apparently dragged it or dropped it or whatever you want to call it. So when we took these off to clean them at the parts station, we realized that there were tiny little, almost microscopic but very small little holes in here, obviously, which is not a safe situation for it. So we sent those off to the welder. So there's your welding marks. Obviously, it'll look a little bit nicer when we get it all done. But
yeah, we'll grind it down and clean it up. But this is literally right back from the welder.
Right. Those are the little things that you'll find, just like with the frame. So yeah, we cut the holes, and then when we went to put the engine in, to tilt it the way you're supposed to tilt it, there was not enough cover with the original crossbar that came across there. So the welder had to cut that crossbar off and basically put a new one in so we could have more clearance for the front cover. So just little things that we find trial and error that have kind of set us back a little bit, but that's what happens when you're building something from scratch, basically.
But we have something that resembles a motorcycle again.
It's starting to come together.
We still have to do a little bit of. Once we get everything fitted up properly, we're going to send it back out, get the bare metal coated and fitted or painted. But we should have something rideable soon.
Yeah, we're going to wait on. So now we got to order some shocks. So we had to put it back together today so we can measure, so we can get the shocks in. So the next thing is we got to order some shocks. Those of you who look at the intro picture, remember from our first video, there were no shocks. It was an erector set bar that was basically holding the rear frame on, so we got to get the shocks. So that's basically where we're at. We just wanted to touch base with everybody. It's starting to come together. We need to order a few more parts, put it all together, then we're going to send everything off. We got a paint scheme already worked out. We got sponsors and advertisers already for the bike. So we'll unveil all that stuff as we go further along. But now we just got to order a couple more parts, and then hopefully do a couple more smaller welds, and then we can put everything back together and reveal it pretty soon.
And if you would like to have your name or your company name
Sure, of course.
on the bike, let us know. We will work out some sponsorship
Sure.
and ad placement.
Sure, it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, well, thanks for watching. Let me see the camera. I'd like to thank Kara, the producer, owner, and producer, and photographer for today, as always. I'm airhead number 1, Jeff, airhead number 2, Charles, and we'll see you on the next video.
See you next time on